Hey y'all, hey. Look, I just had something that came to me. Well, it ain't just come to me, it came to me this morning, but I had so much going on this morning because I had to do uh, the summit with my two friends this morning for the people in Ghana, Africa. So I was like, let me get this out before I forget. So this morning I was thinking about people, right? Y'all know I'm always thinking just people, period. Um, and for some reason this morning I started reflecting on a lot of people talk about besties, and I'm blessed to have really good friends, right? Really, really good friends. A lot of people spend a lifetime and never establish good relationships. I have real, true friends, and I can honestly say that I'm blessed to have quite a few um, really good friends, so like three best friends, right? Um, and a lot of people use the term bestie like very loosely, right? Somebody to be my best friend, they have to meet some criteria in order for me to say that they're my best friend, right? Um, and we'll talk about the criteria later because that's not what I'm really here to talk about. So I was thinking in terms of boosters, right? Boosters versus besties, right? Um, and I ain't talking about shoplifters. It's not the boosters, right? So I started thinking in terms of a space shuttle, right? So we've all seen like NASA launch some space shuttles or whatever, right? And typically, when you see like the space shuttle going into the air, it gets to like a certain altitude, and then there are these things that like fall off it, right? And it just continues to go. Well, those things are called boosters, right? And so a booster's job in that aspect is to get the shuttle to a certain altitude and then it falls off, right? So once the shuttle gets to that particular altitude, whatever it is, I don't know finance shit, I don't know. Its job is done with the shuttle, right? It's gotten it to where it needs to get to and it's finished. So I started thinking in terms of, man, they got people just like that, right? These people, we're gonna call these people boosters too, right? Because a lot of times, first of all, we confuse boosters with besties a lot, right? Just because they've been around and oh, they was with me from the bottom and now I'm here. But some people ain't meant to go with you past whatever that level, that altitude is, right? Even haters, what we call them, have a certain level that they supposed to go with you to, right? Because the reality is, like the rap song said, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping, right? But the haters actually are there for a purpose to motivate you to get to a certain altitude, right? Because if we didn't have haters, hell, who would we be proving points to, realistically, right? Besides ourselves, right? And that ain't no fun. Because, we get to that certain point where we be like, oh, I'm going to show them. They don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to show them, right? Now, we show ourselves and whatever, but it's even more fun when you could just, like, show a hater, right? And prove them that I'm gonna get to this level of success, right? Even though you didn't believe I could, or you didn't support me in X, Y, Z, whatever it is, right? That's just motivation, right? You use it as motivation. You don't allow it to be to make you bitter, right? So you be like, oh, because that ain't the purpose of a hater, right? You ain't supposed to return the hate. That ain't our job to return the hate. The job is to combat it with your success, right? So these people can actually be classified as boosters, right? And what do? They help you to get to a certain level or a certain altitude in life. And then after that, their job is to fall off, right? Sometimes we be in relationships with boosters. Sometimes we marry boosters. Sometimes we think boosters are our best friends. But, and then we like to hold on to that, right? Hold on to that individual when God is clearly telling you, hey, this person's season is up, right? Like spoiled milk. Once a milk get past a certain date, now listen, if it say today is the last day, I ain't throwing it away today. I ain't throwing it away tomorrow. Might be later next week because I'm gonna smell it and look at it. If it ain't curling, I'm gonna still eat my frosted flakes with that milk, right? So that's just the reality of it. But I ain't gonna still have that same milk next month talking about it might still be good. No, I ain't gonna do that, right? So sometimes things go past their date, right? And it's time for them to fall off. You have to be okay with stuff that's falling off and that God is trying to pull off you because it has already gotten you to the level or the altitude that you should be to with that particular thing. Even your mindset. Some mindsets things that worked for you in the past don't necessarily mean that they still designed to work for you right now, right? Things that I did, mindsets that I had when I first started being an entrepreneur 11 years ago, if I was still in that same mindset, I would still be in business where I was 11 years ago, right? If I was still in the mindset of a kindergartner talking about A, B, C, D, element of P, I would not hit 2 college degrees, right? So that takes a shift, and sometimes all the time there has to be a shift in mindset. So we got to be working on our mindset all the time, and then we have to understand people's positions in our lives and when those seasons come to an end, right? Again, don't mix a bestie with a booster. Like, for example, one of my best friends that I've been friends with forever, she and I have been friends since 1987. Never had an argument, never had a crossword, none of that, right? 1987, that's a lot of years. That's genuinely my best friend that I've had for the longest in my life, right? I've had people since her. I've had people that I was connected with before her, and their season just came to an end. It doesn't have to be argumentative. It doesn't have to be ugly. Y'all don't have to dissolve and part ways and just be like, I ain't speaking to them no more. Just, okay, our season came to an end. Guess what? When fall leaves, fall ain't beefing with spring. You know what I mean? Oh, my season up. Now the leaves gonna come back on the trees. They ain't got no beef between seasons, right? Your time up, fall, now it's spring season, right? It's time for the leaves to come back, all this other stuff. When summer season come in, they come in like a storm, because most of the time in New Orleans, we go from living in winter to summer anyway, right? So it ain't no beef in the transition, right? You don't have to beef with everybody to no longer have those relationships. You got to fall out with everybody. And to be right here talking about, like, I ain't speaking on this, that. Just understand, if that person's season up, make the transition. If your season up in that person's life, make the transition, right? Because everything ain't supposed to be lifetime. Some things come in seasons. Some things last a lifetime. Some relationships last a lifetime. And then some things have seasons. And if that person is supposed to be a booster, let that person go, right? Just like the space shuttle, once it gets to a certain altitude, it lets those boosters go. Let the boosters go. Free the booster, right? Keep the bestie, free the booster. But understand what that looks like and the difference between the two, right? When a relationship ain't no longer popping no more, right? Divorces ain't just in marital relationships. Sometimes you got to divorce a friend that you thought was supposed to be there, whatever, right? And again, there are people that divorce amicably. So if you have to dissolve relationships to get to the next level, it's okay. Don't be loyal to a fault time out. Oh, that was my girl. That's my sister. That's my cousin. Because sometimes, you're not responsible for who you related to, right? Sometimes family in that number two that you have to dissolve. You have to dissolve the relationship. Now, you can't dissolve the kinship. They're going to always be your cousin. Y'all going to always have blood. But that don't mean y'all got to be friends and talking to each other all the time. Because y'all know we got some toxic family members. I personally have toxic family members that I choose not to talk to because I prioritize my peace, right? So I ain't family over everything. I am not that person, family over everything. Because again, family will be the ones, like, somebody can talk about you and put you in the grave. Family be the ones that put the nail in the coffin and throw the dirt on you, right? So I'm not a family over everything person, right? Because sometimes for me, family is people that ain't even blood kin to me. There are people that have supported me wholeheartedly that have no blood relation to me, right? So that's family to me, right? So I'm not a blood family over everything, right? So again, make sure you are not confusing boosters with besties. That's all I wanted to say, y'all. If it's your bestie is going to support you in every area. They're going to tell you when you're wrong. They're going to hold you accountable, all of those things, right? So if you're doing something wrong, they're going to say, look, girl, because guess what? My friends really be like, that ain't right. They ain't right, sis. You was wrong for that one. And if I'm right, they're going to rah-rah me. If I'm wrong, they're going to tell me when I'm wrong, right? If I say I want to accomplish something, they're going to hold my hand and hold me accountable to accomplishing whatever that thing is, right? But if you are not getting that level of support and you are a business owner or you are, I don't care if you're a parent or a student, whatever it is, like, your friend should be in your corner supporting you and not outside of your friendship circle talking about you like a dog and you hearing that they saying X, Y, Z. That's a booster. That's not a bestie. Because a bestie going to come tell you and you'll never hear it again, right? My besties, when I tell them something, I never hear it again, right? That's the difference, right? They going to correct you when you're wrong, but they ain't about to talk about you because outside the circle, somebody else could be saying something and they coming at their neck, right? That's what a bestie is, right? They supporting you, they encouraging you, they uplifting you. If we gotta cry together, we're gonna cry together. If we gotta ride together, we're gonna ride together. Bad girls, bad boys for life, whatever it is, right? So don't confuse a bestie with a booster. That's what I wanted to tell you all today. So evaluate yourself. Listen, we about to go into a whole new year. Tomorrow is December 1st, right? Last month of 2022, we about to go into a whole new year. We getting older. We don't have time to still be dealing with foolishness and crying about support and all this. You know, like God has given us all the spirit of discernment. You know what is hitting for with people that you are involved with, right? Don't drag them people into 2020. You ain't got to make no announcement on Facebook and talk about, oh, I'm making an announcement, I'm dissolving. Just do it. You ain't got to talk about it. Be about it, right? And do what is best for you and your mentals, right? Let all the excess foolishness go. Let the toxicity go. Let those dead conversations go. All that other foolishness, and surround yourself with people that have your best interest at heart and be ready to reciprocate that same thing, right? Because again, if somebody's just pointing to you and you ain't pointing back, that's not an equally mutually a good relationship, right? Either, right? You have to be willing to point to that person just like you expecting that person to point to you. If you don't support them and they supporting you, that's still not a good relationship. It has to be reciprocity in it, right? So make sure you're a good friend and then evaluate your friendship circle. So I just wanted to encourage y'all today, like, look at your friends, look at your circle, and if it ain't that, then it's time to go. I've been saying it like all year, but literally, like, I'm gonna continue saying it because at this point we almost at a new year. We got to do some different things to see some things. If you're a business, especially if you are a business owner, you have to surround yourself with people that have your best interest at heart, that can support you in business and help you get to the next level, right? And so that's why me and Malika are always talking about the mastermind. We have Powerhouse in a Circle, which is a mastermind of like-minded women. All of the women in our mastermind is entrepreneurs. She and I are also part of a mastermind, right? So the CEO Collective for Women, right? All of us are mutually women that are entrepreneurs on the same mindset, all of the things, right? You have to surround yourself with people that want to see you win. And people that want to see you win are typically people that are already winning and they don't mind helping you get to that next level. So evaluate y'all circles. Don't go into 2023 with the same foolishness that we were in 2022 and before with that, right? It's time for a change. All right, y'all. So I got to go cook. Bye, y'all. And I got work to do. So see y'all later. Bye.